death.
Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video, and today I have my very first level 8 rare card. My giant, as you can see, finally level 8. I've been requesting these giants for about the past month or so really excited to finally have upgraded it. I think it added about 350 health total, so it should be a pretty noticeable difference. Here's the deck I'm using. Let's go ahead and take a look at some replays, and then we'll finish off with a live battle. So here we are, guys, facing off against a fellow level 10 inside the legendary arena. Now, the main strategy with this deck right here, or at least the way I played, is I like to slow play the first 2 minutes of a battle and just focus on getting multiple pumps out, and then in the double elixir period and overtime, that's when I put on the pressure and try and go for the victory. So fortunately, I do have the pump in my starting hand. Gonna go ahead and place it down in the middle of my base. My opponent is also using the pump, so he's gonna place it down in the back left side of his base. And like I said, really gonna slow play it here. Just gonna go ahead and use that poison spell to damage the tower as well as the pump. And all I really want to do is just play defensively until the double elixir period and try and figure out what kind of strategy my opponent is using. And that way I know how to set up an attack. He's gonna come in here pretty aggressively with a giant balloon push. Fortunately, I do have the Ice Wizard in my deck, which is gonna come in clutch right here, slowing down both the giant as well as the balloon. Cannon distracting everything, and in the end, he doesn't do any damage to my tower with that push. Ice Wizard slowing down the balloon long enough, allowing the tower some time to finish it off. So overall, pretty good defense right there. His pump is down, but I still have my pump in the middle of my base, which is really important, having multiple pumps down, because that way in the double elixir period, you can set up some pretty strong pushes. Now right there, Ice Wizard finishing off his princess. Gonna go ahead and use a second pump on the bottom right corner there, and then just sit back a quick second and wait for my elixir to build up. My opponent is gonna go in with another giant balloon push. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and use the cannon to distract both of those, and then use the goblins as well as the poison spell, because unfortunately my Ice Wizard isn't in rotation, so I'm forced to use the poison spell to slow down the giant as well as the balloon. And in the end, once again, another failed attack on his part. The balloon doesn't make it to my tower, so pretty good defense once again, and I also have another pump left over because of it. So just really building up that elixir advantage, and pretty soon here we're going to hit the double elixir period. We're going to start setting up some attacks. Ice Wizard going in there, getting some chip damage done to the right hand tower. Down goes another pump on the bottom left corner there. Like I said, just really getting ready for the double elixir period. And here we are, 3 seconds away. Going to go ahead and start doing a slow push with my giant behind my king tower. And I'm going to wait to see what he does next. He's going to go ahead and place down his princess on the right hand side there. So I know he's probably going to do another giant balloon push. So I'm going to get ready for that. Down goes the poison spell right here to slow down the giant, slow down the balloon, and also kill the princess. And then I'm going to use the cannon once again to distract the giant, the balloon. Now when you guys are playing this game, you have to mix up your attack strategies and keep your opponent guessing. You don't want to become too predictable. My opponent here keeps doing these same giant balloon pushes over and over again, and all that's going to allow me to do is just predict every single attack he does, and I'm going to have all my defensive cards ready to counter it. And as a result, he isn't able to do any successful giant balloon pushes throughout this entire game because he keeps doing the same thing over and over again, and I just keep repeating the same defenses over and over again. Right here, balloon coming in once again, but he's distracted by the cannon and slowed down by the Ice Wizard, and in the end, he doesn't even damage my elixir pump. Now here we are, guys, hitting the overtime period in a couple seconds. Ice Wizard going up there on the right hand side, getting some chip damage done for me. Gonna start setting up here an immediate push with the giant barbarians. Level 8 giant going down with the barbarians up front. He's doing yet another giant balloon push. Now take a look at how tanky this level 8 giant is. He's gonna walk in there, all those barbarians as well as the tower hitting him, but he's also gonna make it to the tower and get a couple hits off. And I've definitely noticed a huge difference from a level 8 giant to a level 7 giant. The level 8 giant is much tankier, guys. A lot of people will say that one level doesn't make a huge difference, but I've definitely noticed a significant difference with this level of this giant. The second giant going in there, getting a couple hits off it. In the end, I will get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead here to the next replay. So here we are, guys, facing off against a Royal Giant Sparky user. My opponent here has a level 11 Royal Giant, which is pretty tanky, and I've said this in a previous video that I think one of the biggest problems with the Royal Giant and one of the reasons why he feels so overpowered is simply because he's a common card and very easy to get up to higher levels in comparison to all the other cards you have. Now right here, Royal Giant doing some decent damage to my tower, but the Barbarians make quick work of him, taking him out, and then doing some damage to the Barbarians as well. But unfortunately, he uses Zaspel, which allows his Barbarians to win the trade, so I'm forced to use my Goblins as well to prevent some damage to my tower. But throughout all of that, we managed to sneak in an Elixir Pump, which is really important, like I said in the previous video. Now, if you don't have the Ice Wizard to use in this deck, but you want to try it out, you're going to need some sort of air defense. I would suggest maybe a Musketeer in place of the Ice Wizard. That'll just give you some air defense. Now right here, he's coming in with the Sparky on the left-hand side. Going to go ahead and just sit back and allow that Ice Wizard to go out there and die. And then I'm going to go ahead and get ready to take it out, dropping down a poison spell right here to kill those minions, because I don't want the minions killing any of my troops that I want to use to kill the Sparky. Gonna go ahead and use the cannon here to distract the Royal Giant, and then use the Zap spell to reset the attack timer on the Sparky, and then use the Goblins here. Now, I probably could have used the Barbarians, but in my head I was thinking that if the Sparky manages to get a hit off and kill all the Goblins, it's less of an elixir loss than if I use these Barbarians there. So that's why I used the Goblins instead of the Barbarians in that instant. Now he's coming in here with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Gonna go ahead and use the Barbarians to take it out, and then drop down the Giant there. Now I probably could have just let the Barbarians go back on a counter push, and then went ahead to use another Elixir Pump, but I wanted to build on the defensive troops of the Barbarians and start setting up a counter push, and as a result, the Poison Spell doing some damage, Giant getting in there, getting a couple hits off, and definitely a pretty successful counter push right there, bringing that tower all the way down to 800 health. And not only that, we also killed all of his defensive troops in the process, so I don't even have to worry about a counter push after that, which is always a good thing. Another pump going down here on the bottom right corner. Going to go ahead here and use the Ice Wizard as well as the cannon to distract this Royal Giant. Now take a look at what I do next. Going to go ahead and use the Goblins, but notice how I use the Goblins in the back left corner there, and the reason I did that is I knew it would pull the minions back on top of the Royal Giant, allowing the splash damage of the Ice Wizard to also kill them in the process. So pretty interesting use of the Goblins right there. Now once again, he's coming with another Sparky push. Gonna go ahead and use the Poison Spell to slow down those Barbarians, and then use my Ice Wizard, and once the Mini P.E.K.K.A. crosses the bridge, gonna go ahead and use the Zap spell to reset the attack timer on the Sparky, and then use my Barbarians to take it out. So pretty good use of the Zap Barbarian combo to take out that Sparky right there. And once again, I have another counter push going on. He actually gives up at this point in the battle. Barbarians going in there, finishing up that tower, giving me the 1 crown lead, and I'm going to put on some pressure right here, try go for the 3 crown victory, but unfortunately I placed one too many elixir pumps earlier on in the battle when I should have been focusing on offense, and as a result I'm a couple seconds short of the 3 crown victory. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a live battle here. So here we go guys, facing off against a level 10, hit him with a good luck here. Now I want to know what level your guys' giants are, because like I said, I've been requesting for these giants for about a month or so. Finally able to upgrade him to level 8, and I noticed a huge difference. Did you guys notice a huge difference when you upgraded your giant levels there? Let's go ahead and defend this pretty easily. Unfortunately, the cannon half second too late. Fireball not hitting my cannon there, fortunately, but unfortunately taking some damage there to my Elixir Pump, getting him the crying face right here. And the Ice Wizard are going to go back there on a counter push, but going to ignore him and just kind of let him do a little bit of chip damage, hopefully, to that tower. Let's do a split push right here with some Barbarians. And if I find out that he doesn't have a miner in his deck, then I'm going to go ahead and place my pumps in the corner. Unfortunately, my poison spell, come on. Oh, no. Come on, come on, come on. Zap this right here. Boom. There we go. Now, maybe the zap was a bit too much, because now he's going to come back with a pretty strong counter push. There it is with the Royal Giant. I want to see if I can't cycle really fast to my zap spell. But unfortunately, I think I won't be able to. Let's poison all this. And come on, come on, come on. Kill the Ice Wizard first, and then hopefully the tower can finish off the Sparky, because the poison spell will be slowing it down. So overall, not too bad. Hit him with a thumbs up right there. So we're pretty even on tower damage. Let's go ahead and place down a pump here. Of course, you always want to wait till about 8 elixir or 9 before you use that pump so you don't get caught off guard. And we have the Zap spell. Unfortunately, he's going to fireball that. And there is no place, with both of my towers being low, there's no place I can use the pump and not have him fireball it. And unfortunately, my pump is only level 6, so he's getting some pretty good value for those fireballs. So can we go in here to the left-hand side with one of these? And an Ice Wizard for support. And we're going to put on so much pressure and just force him to spend all of his elixir defending, and that way we can take out the Sparky pretty quickly here on the right hand side with a Zap Goblin drop. Giant doing some work for me there on the left hand side. Let's use some Zap there with some Goblins. Cannon right here to strike that Royal Giant, and then an Ice Wizard as well. Definitely doing pretty well here with the 1 crown lead so far. And we're gonna go ahead and just play super aggressively with another Giant right here. Maybe some. We're gonna get the Zap spell. Let's poison all this. Also have the Zap spell available right there. Zap that Sparky. With 20 seconds left, maybe I'm playing a bit too aggressively, because right here he's going to come back with a pretty big counter push. Let's go ahead and use his cannon right here, distract that with some barbarians. Goblin's back here to soak up the attack from the Sparky, saving my barbarians. Going to go ahead and poison all of this, and that's going to kill this. Let's zap this, and there we go. Come 1 second, there we go, getting the victory. Hit him with the good game. Anyways guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching guys, and we'll see you in the next video.